Hi everyone, so this is my review on Avengers Age of Ultron, and I'll just say this right now, I have not really full control of what comes out of my mouth, so I'll just say spoilers now. If you don't want any of the movie to be spoiled because you haven't seen it yet, which is really shocking to me, just click away, go click on another video, anything over somewhere, and go watch them, and then once you see the movie you can come back and watch this. So, Avengers Age of Ultron. It's a good movie. It is a 2-hour and 21-minute movie if I did the math right. And it's basically about Tony Stark went and built Ultron, not Ant-Man, but Tony. And them having to go out and deal with the chaos of that is basically my brief gist of what the movie is. And I love that they stuck to the Avengers thing of always adding new characters, where they brought in the three new actors, of Elizabeth Olsen, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Paul Bettany, I want to say it is, and I definitely think I screwed that up. And so they added the new characters of Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Vision, which Scarlet Witch is possibly one of my favorite Marvel superheroes out there. So them adding her in really just sold the ticket for me. And like I said, I think it was a good movie, but it definitely didn't compete in my mind to the first Avengers. They just did, with these new characters, they did so poorly on character development for them, in my opinion. They told a lot of Pietro's and Wanda's backstory, but they had to kind of create a whole different backstory to deter them away from the X-Men side of them, because Disney doesn't own any rights to X-Men, that's Fox. So they had to come up with a new story that did connect to that and the X-Men side of them. And they did a good job of that, but they didn't really establish Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, or Vision, any of their powers really. They talk about them, like they talk about Pietro's fast metabolism, and Scarlet Witch is working with like electrons, I think they said. But Scarlet Witch's powers are so vast and wide, and same with Vision's. Vision just kind of popped in there and they're like, okay, you're on our side now. So, like, they didn't really establish much of their powers that they have. And with the X-Men thing, I think it's going to be really hard, especially with Quicksilver's character, without them being Magneto's kid, which they're trying to not have them be for the Fox issue. But for Quicksilver, I feel like that's going to be a big issue, because his character, in my opinion, was always struggling in the comic books of whether he was good or bad, whether he should be with his father Magneto or fight for good with the Avengers, or what he should do. But without that Magneto tie, I don't know really how they're going to develop his character in the future. And I also feel like in the movie, they completely buzzed over the whole backstory of Natasha and how she became Black Widow, how all of that training and all that stuff that she had to go through, they just completely buzzed over in a matter of like seconds. And it really bugged me that her whole character's plot was just to be in love with Bruce and to fall in love and run away together. That she had no real strong standing in the movie. That bugged me so much, that all she was there was to flaunt over Bruce. And another woman character in this movie that I don't know if she's going to become what she is, which if she does, oh my goodness, I will punch Marvel in the face. But Hawkeye's wife, who in the comic books is Mockingbird, probably my second favorite Marvel superhero after Scarlet Witch. And if this is her becoming Mockingbird in the future, they set her up so terribly. because she is, in the comic book, she's a scientist, she's smart, she's overly talented, and in the movie if this is her, gonna be future her, she's just a housewife. And just, it didn't feel like it'd be her character at all. I mean, yes, they are kind of showing ties that she might be, because she did seem to know who Fury was and was friends with him and stuff like she is in the comic books. So if they're setting her up to be future Mockingbird, I wish they would have done better at, like, first establishing her character and not just having her be pregnant and at home waiting for Hawkeye to come back. And just overall, like I said, the story was severely lacking in stuff. It was like, oh, this happened, now let's go fight this, now let's go fight this. Which, yes, I understand that is a Marvel movie, especially Marvel Avenger movie. But I still feel like there was a severe lack in the story plot. It was just like, up Ultron's now here. Now, let's go and wander around until we find him and fight him. And also, with the Ultron and how he basically becomes the internet. And he goes for probably the weakest things to hack into and become. Like, he could literally hack the helicarrier that they're all standing on and just bomb it to the ground. But he doesn't. Which, yes, I understand that's how to make the story better and blah 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 blah. But to have him have that power and not use it in the right, smart ways is just like a stupid Bond villain evil mode. And just, So, overall, I do give this movie, you should go see it, stamp, and give it around 4.5 stars, because it is a really good movie. I just don't feel that it holds up to the hype of the first Avenger movie. And I'm very curious to see how they're going to go on in the future with all these other movies, especially Avengers Infinity Wars. Because they still have to establish probably my two favorite of the Infinity Stones, the Time Stone and the Soul Stone. So I'm very curious how they're going to bring those in to all set up for the Infinity Wars. And how the Infinity Wars are all going to play out. Because of the fact that Joss Whedon's contract is now up, so I can't remember his name, but someone else will be directing the next Avenger movies. So I'm very curious to see how this person will go about doing his storyline for the Infinity Wars. I'm not happy that it's in 2 parts. The 2-part movie thing is stupid. So that's probably one of my big things, is I'm probably not going to go see Ant-Man, because I'm not a big fan of Ant-Man. And I'm probably not going to go see the first part of the Infinity Wars when it comes out. I'll see it on DVD once it comes out that way, and do that. But I don't think it's worth my time to go and see it in the theater, because all it is setting up for part 2, like most of them are. So, I'll be doing that. I guess that's it. I'm happy that Joss Whedon kind of let it slip that Quicksilver is alive, which I already knew.